Today, hosting this podcast are my feet. I find it truly fascinating that these body parts that we walk on our entire day are so ignored until they ache. Whether the pain comes from faster healing issues like blisters because we're wearing the wrong socks or shoes, or potentially more severe problems like developing bunions, which we then do surgery on, all the while ignoring the 26 bones, the tendons and muscles that we have in there. And just like the saying goes, use it or lose it. What do you think will happen to the bones, muscles, and tendons in the various parts of your feet if you ignore them? In this episode, as in any other episode, I am giving no medical advice. I'm sharing my best knowledge and personal experience in the hope that it resonates with you and encourages you to listen to your body, to do some research and talk to your medical professionals. More importantly, I hope that you start taking better care of your feet before it's too late. I want to dedicate this episode to my mother, who has bunions and has recently started wearing barefoot shoes. Go, Mum. And I'm sad that I didn't learn about all this many years ago. I've got a friend who had surgery and has struggled with foot pain for years, both before and after her bunion surgery. I hope that this episode helps you develop a better relationship with your feet and improves your overall health in the process. Please share it with other people and let's see if we can have healthier feet in healthier bodies. Let's start with morning feet. When you wake up, doesn't it feel lovely to stretch? Or do you just race out of bed because you're already running late? Or, like me, you wake up with a sense of urgency and just want to get going? Well, whatever the case, after spending the night in bed, your muscles, fascia, and body in general have been still for a long time, and they need a gentle wake up. Here are 4 simple exercises you can do to gently awaken your feet. And you can do these not only in the morning, but throughout the day, even if you're sitting at your desk, you can do some of these. So the first one is simple, gentle circles and varied movements. Start with slow, large circles, and then gradually get smaller and smaller and smaller. And go up and down and all around. The second one is while sitting, put your feet on the ground gently, gingerly. Move your toes, move your feet from side to side. Squish those little sausages. Third is massage and mobility. While seated, massage the tendons and move in all directions along the tendons and between the tendons. 4, do some heel raises while holding a ball with your heels. So you grab the ball and just have fun with your feet. You can raise the heels with the ball in between, try without the ball, and just generally, yes, have fun with your feet. I desperately wanted to share those exercises so that you can take action immediately. Now, I want to address a problem that so many people suffer from and have potentially unnecessary operations for: bunions. According to the website Podiatry Fact, 1/3 of the population have bunions, and most people are, drumroll, women. Surprise, surprise, with the silly footwear that society convinces us to wear. Howard E. Levine, medical doctor, chief medical editor of Harvard Health Publishing, wrote the following in an article. And now I quote, "A bunion is a deformity of the metatarsophalangeal, MTP from now on, joint, so it's a joint, at the base of the big toe. A bunion develops when the first metatarsal bone of the foot turns outward and the big toe points inward toward the other toes, causing the joint to jut out. Most shoes don't accommodate the resulting protrusion and so put pressure on the misaligned joint. Eventually, the bursa, which is a fluid-filled sac that surrounds and cushions the joint, becomes inflamed, and the entire joint becomes stiff and painful." If you've had bunion pain, you know what this is. I know what this is. So end of quote. And I had this for a few years, and here's what I did at home through pure intuition and luck, because I didn't know any of these resources back then. I threw away all the shoes that tried to make my feet narrower than they actually were. And I sized up in all my new shoes, which were mostly soft running shoes. So that's a big change from not only narrower to broader, wider shoes, but also just to softer shoes. This was about a decade ago, and I can tell you that in those 10 years, I now wear 2 sizes up. Part of this is because now I ensure that I only buy shoes that allow me to spread my toes while inside the shoe. And also because I have strengthened my muscles and feet in general through wearing shoes that have less support, and also through walking barefoot more frequently. Continuing with the information from that website that I'll share in the show notes, I quote again, "Shoes with narrow toes can trigger a bunion, but they're not the underlying cause. Bunions run in families. Low arches, flat feet, loose joints, and tendons all increase the risk. High heels can exacerbate the problem because they tip the body's weight forward, forcing the toes into the front of the shoe. This may help to explain why bunions are 10 times more common in women than in men." I will repeat this. This may explain why bunions are 10 times more common in women than in men. People in occupations such as teaching and nursing, which involve a lot of standing and walking, are susceptible to bunions. So are ballet dancers whose feet suffer severe repetitive stress. Women can develop bunions and other foot problems during pregnancy because hormonal changes loosen the ligaments and flatten the feet. Bunions are also associated with arthritis, which damages the cartilage within the joint. You may be able to relieve pain and prevent bunions from progressing with conservative measures that take pressure off the MTP joint and improve foot mechanics. End of quote. What they mean here with foot mechanics is just moving our feet and how we move them. I'll continue with the quote. "Bunions generally don't require surgery unless there's an underlying deformity that can't otherwise be corrected, or the pain becomes debilitating despite conservative treatment." End of quote. And this is not me saying it. It's the words of a doctor. Now he continues to explain why bunions do need attention. The MTP joint helps us bear and distribute weight during a range of activities. A bunion at this critical junction of bones, tendons, and ligaments can seriously impair the foot's functioning. For one thing, a bunion on the big toe can damage the other toes. Incredible, right? That it can damage the other toes. Under the pressure of the big toe, they may develop corns or become bent, forming hammertoes. The nails may become ingrown and calluses may form on the bottom of the foot. If you constantly shift your weight off the painful big toe joint to other metatarsals, you may develop discomfort in the ball of your foot, and I also experienced this. As the misshapen joint becomes more uncomfortable and harder to fit into your shoes, you may have to curtail exercise and other activities. Even walking may become difficult. They continue to say, Especially in older women, foot disorders are a major cause of disability and sedentary habits. Older women are more likely to have bunions as they get older, and the more severe their bunions are, the lower their quality of life is. The website continues by saying that you should seek treatment if the pain and deformity interfere with daily routines and physical activity. However, I disagree. I believe we should take action before it interferes with our daily routines. I'll now continue to read Dr. Howard E. Lewine, quoting again. The first step to bunion treatment is to relieve the pressure by wearing the right kind of shoe. It's also important to maintain a normal weight. Shoes should have a wide, flexible sole to support the foot and enough room in the toe box to accommodate the bunion. Some good choices are sandals, athletic shoes, and shoes made from soft leather. Later in the article, they talk a bit about when the bunion's irritated, and they say, when the bunion is irritated and painful, warm soaks, ice packs, and non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs such as aspirin, ibuprofen, and naproxen may help. Conservative measures fail and you still have pain that interferes with your daily activities, you may need surgery to restore the toe to its normal position. Never undertake bunion surgery merely for cosmetic purposes and never rush into it. You won't necessarily get rid of all your symptoms. I'll repeat that. You won't necessarily get rid of all your symptoms, and you'll have to stay off your foot for many weeks. Complete recovery can take a year or more depending on the procedure. End of quote. If nothing else, I would love you to take these away with you. Just 3. 1. Walk barefoot in your house, outside, on the beach, wherever you can. Walk barefoot. 2. Massage your feet. Stretch them. Feel the tendons. 3. Spread your toes. Separate your toes. Size up on shoes if you must. And do not go out in a rush to buy fancy schmancy miracle machines that will fix your feet. You fix most feet by simply treating them well, stimulating them, and strengthening them through walking, through self-massaging. Thank you for listening to this episode of Anxiety My Friend with me, Raquel Coelho. Go give your feet some love, stretch them out, and I will bring you a fresh new episode next month. Big love. Beijinhos.